Salutations and welcome to Ross Range. Today's video, So over the last few years, CZ has made quite a name for itself. There's been quite a bit of hubbub about their line of pistols, the 75, the Model 75, P01. A lot of reviews on YouTube about this firearm. A lot of people really like it. I had the opportunity to shoot a 75 and a P09, and I really like the feel of this firearm. And I've heard great things about CZ, so I started looking at possibly getting a CZ pistol. But I have a Beretta 92FS, which is about 33 ounce, 9mm, and I have a Walther PK380, which is a 380 ACP, and that weighs about 18 ounces. So I kind of was interested in the P07, which is a shorter version of the P09. A little bit lighter, comes in at about 27 ounces. So I went looking for someplace that I could actually get my hands on one of these, and a local big box store is a CZ distributor. So I was able to go take a good look at this P07, and I really liked it. Then I ran across the OD Green model, and the specs on that looked a little more interesting. So I went out and purchased the OD Green P07. OD is olive drab green. This has a full polymer frame with a thin steel slide, which makes it pretty light at 27 ounces. Actually the Beretta feels quite a bit heavier than the difference between the PK380, so I don't know if it's just my perception of the bigger firearm feels a little heavier than the difference in weight between these two. 18 to 27 is actually a wider gap than 27 to 33, but like I said, it feels lighter, and it could just be the balance. I really like the stippling in the grips, the serrations on the slide, and on the frame itself, where you got your finger there. If you're left-handed, with a modern grip, you can get a good purchase on it. It doesn't slip as it recoils. It's one of the things that I have a little issue with my 1911 and this Beretta, is that when you are using a modern grip like this, there's not really a whole lot to hang on to unless you're hanging on to the slide, which is going to cycle, so that's not great. And there's really nothing there for you to, you really have to kind of push on it, and your thumb can slide off. So I really like the way that this feels. The purchase you can get on it, it's got a nice swept beaver tail, comparable to the Beretta, and more of a beaver tail. This really doesn't have a beaver tail, it's just swept in here on the PK380. You can get a little too high, especially if you have a big hand, and the slide can come back, and when you can see it's very close to the hammer. when you've got a good purchase on this CZ. So I really like this. It's got the Picatinny rail on the front, so you can put a light or a laser, whatever Gucci accessories you got to have on there. So far I've put about 500 rounds through this, and it's just a great little pistol. It's very accurate, it's easy to get on target. Recoil is very manageable, and it's I'm going to highly recommend this pistol. I especially like the fact that this is all polymer here. I carry at the 6 o'clock, small to the back, and you don't have to worry about your grip screws getting rusted from your sweaty back. Get a little swamp going on back there when it's hot.
That person is probably suffering from a severe case of swamp ass.
So you don't have to worry about this resting up against your back and getting sweaty. So it's got a lot of features that make this a desirable handgun, makes it very shootable. I like the Omega trigger, it's very smooth, has a nice wall, has a very tactile and audible release. It's the Omega trigger system is very nice. I mean, this is what I'm going to carry every day. This will be my EDC. I have been during the summer carrying the PK380, small and concealable, and in the winter I would generally carry the Beretta, carry it on my side at 3 o'clock, and I think this is going to be a better option all year round. It's concealable, and it's a 9mm. It's large enough for me to really handle well. This is a little bit small for my hand size. As you can see, I have a pretty good sized hand, and it's hard to, I have some problems, you can see without the magazine in there. Even with the magazine in, here I have an empty magazine, I'm really pushing on this swept part of the magazine here. So let's go over some specs on this fine firearm. The OD Green version is new for 2018, has an OD Green polymer frame, tritium night sights, the grips are stippled, serrations on the front and back of the slide, cold hammer forged barrel at 3.75 inches and weighs in at 27.7 ounces. Comes with a decocker installed and has the items necessary for swapping out the decocker for a safety. Double action, single action. Now when you compare this in size to a Beretta 92FS, you see that the frame, the slide is inside the frame, whereas on a Beretta the slide is outside the frame. And on the Walther, similar, but you see how much thicker the slide is compared to the CZ. As you can see the difference in the slide. Much thinner slide, helps cut down on the weight. When we're talking about the decocker, this is what I'm talking about on the decocker. When you decock, you can see you're at about a 3/4 position on the decocker. So you have about 3/4 pull and it will fire. On the Beretta, the decocker makes the firearm incapable of firing. You can see the block coming up here. So don't think that when you decock this, you're in a safety mode, because you're not. You're in a double action mode. Stippling on the grips gives you a good purchase. Exchangeable back straps. There are 3 back straps of different sizes to fit your hand. All of the controls on the frame here are polymer. So thanks for stopping by the channel. I hope this review was helpful. Be safe out there. Safety is the most important thing. Training, second most important thing. Doesn't do you any good to have a firearm in a closet or on a shelf if you're not proficient with it. So get training, be kind, be safe.